Hi, I'm Harry Campbell, and I am from Biofeedback Resources International. And in this video today, I'm going to show and talk about applying skin conductance sensors. And this would be for using for biofeedback or for physiological monitoring. That could be for research. It could be for just seeing what's happening with the skin conductance while you're doing other interventions um, for stress management or other types of applications. So skin conductance reflects sweat activity. It's measuring the conductance from one sensor on a finger to the other, and the conductance is affected by how much sweat there is on the skin. And we use it as a way to reflect emotional reactivity, which can be negative stress or a positive excitement or something like that. So conductance is measuring how easily current passes through the skin and is measured as skin conductance, SCL. We're just going to be dealing with skin conductance. I know there's resistance and there's skin potential and so on. We're going to just make this simple, just talk about conductance. So the normal ranges would be from 1 to 30 microsiemens. And as the graph shows, when there's more sweat, the reading is going to be higher. When there's less sweat, the reading will be lower. This is what the sensors look like, or electrodes, whichever you prefer to call them. We like to call them sensors. Let me just see if I can get my laser pointer here. All right, so these are the sensors on the fingers. See, there's a Velcro band, and then there's a sensor connection that snaps into that for two fingers. The electrode or sensor goes against the palm side of the fingers usually. I like to skip the middle finger, so I'd have one sensor here, one sensor there, but you could do it this way. It's not wrong. Um, One of the reasons why I skip a finger is just so that they don't bump into each other and cause a minor artifact or false signal because the connection or pressure between the sensors can be affected as the two finger sensors bump into each other. So this is the electrode gel or cream that we use. You can put them on dry, but you would tend to get lower readings without using some conductive gel or cream. So here's where the actual sensor or electrode is. This is the Velcro band. Now, I don't like to put the cream directly on here because what happens is it spreads out and it gets all over the Velcro material and it makes it harder to clean up. All right. So I like to put the gel directly on the finger, which I'll show you here. You apply the cream directly to the fingers. That limits the spreading onto the Velcro. I use a Q-tip, this type, not him. Um, And I started doing this mostly during COVID, where I just take some of the cream, put it on the end of the Q-tip, and then just rub it onto the finger before I put the Velcro bands around the finger. And that way you get just a film of the cream on the finger itself and not a lot of excess getting all over your Velcro. So we're going to attach the electrodes to the palm side of the hand, or they could get attached to the foot. Now, if you're attaching them to the foot, you may not use the Velcro bands. You might use disposable EMG sensors or sensors that are used for EMG, but they can be used for EKG, or also they can be used for skin conductance. This is the type that I would use if I'm doing that. And that would just stick on the foot, or they can also go on the hands. This is showing where we would tend to put the sensors. You can put, if we're using the stick-ons that I just showed you, like this, those could go in this area on the hand. if you're, they could also go on the fingers, but most likely you'd be putting the Velcro bands on the fingers. Now you could put them closer to the tips of the fingers. I like using the middle section of the fingers because the Velcro will be less likely to slide off because as you get closer to the tip of the finger, it narrows and it could slide off if you do that. But any of these placements is okay. I like to use this placement. The next thing we will do is a demonstration of this, and then we'll close out the recording. Okay, so this is going to be the demonstration now. I have a cameraman over here. Ray Sean is helping me out. So we're going to show the demonstration of putting the sensors on. So these are the sensors, right? It's a Velcro band. It's got this part that snaps into it. All right. And so I'm going to show how that goes on. So the first thing, instead of taking this and just putting it on the sensor directly, I don't like to do that because the cream gets all over the Velcro. So instead of doing that, I just take a little bit. So I got some on here. And then I just put that on my fingers like this. See, that's it. So there's not a lot to get all over the Velcro. So now I take this, put it on. One finger, the other finger. So that's what it looks like. Then we go to the computer with a start. So now it's recording. So I'm usually trying to get a reading below 2. So I'm already below 2. I'm not that excited right now. So if I got all upset about something, then maybe it would go up. But I'm going to try to just demonstrate how it might go up. So I'm going to take some deep breaths. So you can see it went up. Now it starts to come back down again. Let's see if I can make it go back up again. There it goes. Alright, and that's just what it looks like with the sensors on. Now I'm going to stop the recording and I'm going to take these off so it just peels off like that. You can see I don't have a lot of residue on the Velcro because we didn't put the cream directly on there. Now I could clean these either using a alcohol wipe or just a cloth with some soapy water. If you use alcohol, it may wear the surface off of the sensor a little bit faster, but a lot of times people feel better about it being clean if we use alcohol. And you don't want to just clean the metal part, you want to clean the Velcro too, so you don't have any residue on there. Okay, then it's all ready for the next person. Alright, that's our demonstration. And thank the cameraman, Ray Sean. Okay, so that is a brief demonstration of applying the skin conductance sensor and what the signal looks like on the screen. If you would like more information, you can give us a call at 877-669-6463 or 914-762-4646. You can also send me an email, harry@biofeedbackinternational.com, and visit our website for information on our training. We offer training for BCIA certification for both biofeedback and neurofeedback, and we do consulting as well. So hope to talk to you.